yet.
The two cosmonauts are in the process of wrapping up the removal of a tray of experiments from the impact and material science experiment containers. That's all complete. They're in the process of continuing to take photos of the aft end of the Zvezda service module and are about to take photos of the interface of a boom that holds the Lyra antenna, the high data rate and high telemetry television antenna at the aft end of the Zvezda service module. As we approach the 4-hour mark in the spacewalk, the crew continuing to run about an hour ahead of the timeline.
And please take pictures and video on from as many angles as possible, and then you start the rotation and record how the rotation is happening. Okay, are you ready? I am. Me too. And when the rotation starts, make sure you are holding as tight and without any extra movement as possible. Rotation is about to start. We are ready. Sergey. What about FOD items or any loose items? Have you inspected it as well? We have, and we confirm that rotation has started. We're asking because, and we're asking about FOD or any loose items, anything strange there, because Dima said that he could not see it clearly because of the sun. Well, are you seeing anything strange? No, not as of right now, and the rotation is very smooth. Copy. All right. PT is 4 hours exact sharp. Okay? Well, if we spend another 3 hours just cleaning the windows, that's going to be just fine. All right, the rotation continues. Copy. So 6 minutes till orbital night. Copy. And I see that the shadow of the progress vehicle is increasing. So we are ready.
у нас начнется вращение в обратную сторону.
All right, the rotation in the other direction is about to start. Oh, we see that.
Принято.
Copy.
Пойдет в обратную, да.
And it's about to start moving.
Есть вращение.
We confirm rotation.
Принято.
Copy.
Just over 4 hours into the spacewalk by Prokopiev and Patelin, the cosmonauts taking high-resolution imagery of the boom upon which the Lyra high data rate antenna at the aft end of the Zvezda service module resides.
А вот под левой рукой у тебя вот...
Under your left hand, there is some sort of a ribbon.
Да, да.
Yes,
Лента, которая FT
there is a ribbon
сжимает.
that is holding the MLI together.
Ну, а честно говоря, такая рваная.
Well, and it's torn, I think.
Сейчас длиннее другой.
Well, one end is longer than the other.
Все, у нас тень. Только под цветом фонарей.
We can only see it under the light when we shine the light on it.
Можете поподробнее еще эту ленточку
Can you
подснять?
take a detailed image of this ribbon, please?
Ребят, у нас через 2,5-3 минуты.
Guys, in about 2.5 or 3 minutes, there's going to be an LOS for about 10 minutes.
Появляться будет связь, но она в целом не
There will be Redicom only, and we're not going to have CSS coverage during the time frame, so there will be an independent time frame, so to speak. And so right now you're going to complete your video recording and start translating back along the handrails. Try to follow the same path, translation path that you used to right here. I think when you get to the last handrail, the comb will be available. But when you get to the last handrail, please stand by and wait for my go. Okay, copy all. Okay, we're going to wrap up our video recording. Wrap up the recording using Glisser. Oh, that will. Well, we're not going to take the video of the rest of the parts of the edge. What you have not taken a video of. So along plane 4 until number 1, until plane 1, finish up with the video recording. Also add it to the recording objects. Okay, we'll try. Speaking simultaneously. So we're going. We're ahead of the timeline. So we're going to. If we don't spend too much time on that end, then we should be fine. Okay, sounds good. Should we wait for the insulated part of the orbit to take a video? Well, we're not going to be able to clean the window if you wait for the insulated part of the orbit. And we're actually, any second now, we're going to end up without any calm. Okay, I understand. Okay, we're going to take a video as we go. As you're translating along the path, walking by, do additional video recording. Don't spend too much time on it. Use GoPro. Should be sufficient. The video isn't too bad, so that there should be enough lighting for that. Okay, sounds good. Okay, so start translating. Okay, copy. I'm also going to take another video on top of the high gain antenna, Ona. And then you go ahead and start translating and I will follow. Okay, sounds good.
The instructions from Russian flight controllers to Prokopiev and Petelin as they wrap up the documentation of the antenna boom upon which the Lyra high gain transmission and telemetry antenna resides at the aft end of the Zvezda service module. That documentation has now been completed, and the two cosmonauts will start to make their way back from the aft end of the service module toward the forward end of the service module in the Russian segment of the space station, carrying the materials science cassette container and the impact experiment sample container back to the Poisk airlock with them. We're 4 hours, 13 minutes into today's spacewalk. Everything has gone ahead of the timeline, with all of the objectives so far having been accomplished.
There's Right now, this particular ribbon is broken. It used to cinch up the MLI. So right now we stopped the high gain antenna rotation. So you need to go and start translating away from that location. Okay, copy, and we're going to take video as we go along the translation path. Thank you. Copy. Dmitry, are you going to start translating above, or are you going to be translating along my handrails? Yes, I'm going to translate over here on top.
During the course of today's spacewalk, the two cosmonauts jettisoned a decade-old seismic detection experiment called Seismoprognos, as well as two stanchions that held telemetry equipment. One more jettison is planned, that of several towels that could occur within the next few minutes. That will wrap up all of the jettison work during the course of this spacewalk. The 266th in support of space station assembly maintenance and upgrades, and the 9th spacewalk conducted out of the International Space Station this year. And we've gone into a handover between satellites on our tracking and data relay satellite system for about 8 to 9 minutes or so. Just to recap, 4 hours, 18 minutes into the spacewalk, Sergei Prokopiev and Dmitry Petelin have been able to remove a number of scientific investigations bolted to the hull and handrails of the Zvezda service module, as well as the installation of high data rate transmission hardware for future use. With all of the activities associated with this spacewalk having gone well so far, the two cosmonauts are making their way back from the aft end of the service module, where they took engineering photography and high digital imagery of the boom upon which the Lyra high data rate antenna is mounted at the very aft end of the service module, as well as photography of plume detectors for the thrusters on the aft end of the service module that provide propulsive capability for the International Space Station. Again, we're in a period of loss of communications from the International Space Station. We'll reacquire communications and a downlink TV capability just a few minutes from now as today's spacewalk continues. Sergei Prokopyev and Dmitry Petelin making their way back from the aft end of the Zvezda service module to the forward end of the service module to take up the remaining activities for today's excursion, which will be the stowage of experiments in containers that will be brought back inside the International Space Station, and one final task, the removal of a biological sample container for an experiment called BioRisk that is located near the hatch to the Poisk module airlock. And as we approach the 4.5-hour mark in today's spacewalk, we're standing by for the reacquisition of signal on our tracking and data relay satellite system, continuing our coverage of Russian spacewalk 59, the 266th spacewalk in support of space station assembly maintenance and upgrades.
Дмитрий, как меня слышно?
Dmitry, how do you hear me? We read you loud and clear.
Все, перерыв связи закончился.
The LOS is over. How are you doing? What stage are you at? We are on different handrails.
Образных поручнях подходит. Понял. Дима, ты?
I think we're on the circular handrails. I am near УКП, Кровопек.
Принято.
Copy.
Принято. Ну, мы идем с небольшим опережением.
Well, we're a little bit ahead of the timeline.
Приступать будем к очистке иллюминатора.
Okay, let's start cleaning the window.
Соответственно,
So accordingly,
что нам надо сделать?
what you need to
Надо
do,
застраховать на
you need to
лач small на свой приспособление.
you need to secure small edge and take it out on your
На поручнях
waist tether, and then you need to hold on with one hand on ORMD handrail, and then reach out, and the same way as we discussed it, one of you is going to hold on to ORMD, clean the window with the other hand, and the second EV crew member is going to hold on to the first crew member's back. So who has longer arms? What do you think? Then one of you who has longer arms should be the one cleaning the window. Well, who has longer arms? I wanted to ask something. It's kind of dark. We're not going to have an insulated part of the orbit for 14 minutes. By the time you arrive there, it should be light. You need to position yourself, take photographs of the window before and after. Okay, understand.
У нас также появилась видеокартинка.
We also have the video. Okay, sounds good. So I need to secure myself. Inaudible.
4.5 hours into the spacewalk, Prokopiev and Petelin now are working on what amounts to a get-ahead task, the cleaning of the external surface of one of the Zvezda service module windows.
So should we put it in the crew bag? Let's not put it in the crew bag.
Может быть, к УКП.
So leave it on UKP?
Все на УКП.
Okay, leave everything on UKP. I have released for the cleaning. Copy.
Once the cleaning of the external surface of this service module window is complete, the two cosmonauts will perform a visual inspection of their respective spacesuits, and they'll wipe their gloves and other equipment that they've been working with towels. They plan to jettison those towels at some point here in the next few minutes, and that will put them in the home stretch of today's activities, with one more task to be completed, that the removal of a biological sample experiment package near the hatch to the Poisk module airlock.
So we're going to translate their together. I removed the item into the UKP. Be careful. Go to the edge so you don't snag onto your cars. Make sure you fit through. All right, so I'm trying to get through, right? All right. This is how we got here. All right, so move further, right? I think we'll fit. But the backpack is too fat. Let me try. Maybe we'll get through. For now, you are fitting through. All right, let's try.
Можешь, пожалуйста, за разные поручни зафиксировать карабины?
So, could you please secure yourself to different handrails? Of course. Alright, that's a circular handrail. Unintelligible. Not a very well-designed structure. They didn't think about the cosmonauts. Is Andre there anywhere? Andre, do you hear us? Hold on, let us get Andre over. Yeah, because we are pretty close to our target. Get to the left window. Oh, less than 3 minutes to the installation. Copy.
The reference to the 3 minutes until installation refers to orbital sunrise for the International Space Station and the Expedition 69 crew as the work continues outside by Prokopiev and Patelin. At this point, the cosmonauts removed a seismic detection experiment from the Zvezda service module that had operated for almost a decade outside. They jettisoned that equipment along with a stanchion. Also removed 2 other stanchions that telemetry equipment were mounted on, and installed a high data transmission radio hardware package to improve the rate of transmission of telemetry and other data associated with experiments on the Russian segment of the International Space Station.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do anything. Dima, could you help Sergey grab his tether? Hold on. Take that and lower it. Are you lowering it?
The 2 cosmonauts also removed experiment trays from a micrometeoroid debris impact experiment and a material science sample experiment package,
I'm not there anymore.
and took detailed photography at the aft end of the Zvezda service module of a number of components, including plume deflectors for the thrusters at the aft end of the service module, as well as the antenna boom on which the Lyra high data rate antenna is mounted.
Unintelligible.
Ну, тогда кто в итоге будет чистить, а кто будет придерживать?
The crew in Moscow are unintelligible due to a lot of interference.
Сергей, одно я, одно Сергей. Нет, все хорошо. Принят. Так, ну давай, начнем потихонечку.
Slowly. Well, first, turn on your glissers. So, video the state before and then after. Literally no more than 5 or 10 seconds.
Заметно будет.
And then we'll see whether the status improves after you clean the windows.
Я напоминаю, первым делом ставим очиститель в центр иллюминатора и круговыми движениями.
All right, so okay, you start cleaning it, moving along the perimeter in circular motions starting from the sides, going to the center.
Если по-другому, то там могут остаться разводы и полоски.
Because if you do that the other way, you will end up with possibly with streaks and on the windows. All right. So it's a spiral movement? Yes, spiral movement. Okay. Spiral movement. I'm not going to turn off the glisser then. Right.
Так, итак,
All right, I am getting that first cleaner out.
Просто тупо отлетаешь. Когда отлетаешь, да? А, ладно, это закрепись там.
All right, secure it somewhere like this here.
Ага, так. Так. Ага, достал.
All right, I got it.
Первый очиститель.
All right, we have it.
Итак, от центра.
All right, away from the center.
Полетел, да? Полетел. Ага, ну всё.
All right.
Сергей, надо плотнее прижимать.
Sergey, press harder. You actually need to put some effort.
Лучше глиссер зафиксируем на пульте.
Secure the
Sergei Prokopiev now cleaning one of the windows on the Zvezda service module. Inside, fellow cosmonaut Andrei Fedyayev recording those activities from the inside out.
All right. Andrei, are you with us? If you are, we would like him to see the process. It's working.
Принято. Там как очиститель уже.
All right, Dima, how is it? Dima, did you copy? Well, when I touch the metal parts, unintelligible. To the center, unintelligible.
Принято. Ну, то есть надо... Можно еще это... Еще раз пройти?
All right, can you go over it one more time? For good measure.
As Prokopiev works to clean this window on the exterior of the Zvezda service module, the International Space Station has flown into an orbital sunrise north of Japan, crossing the northern Pacific.
We're trying to work with, like, maybe to hit it with a flashlight and see, and look at it from different angles to make sure that we have it clean. And the circular motion. Let me try. Andrei. It's kind of... I haven't touched it yet. Clean up here. will be a little bit better from here. All right, I wiped it down like first go, and we can change out the tip and try it one more time. Sergey, should we do it one more time? I think it'll do. Moscow. All right, it's gotten better. We have a second tip that we can use. Let me try from one more time from here. Okay. Something like that. Maybe it'll work. Andrei, what did you say? Well, from the look of it, it's not bad. Can you try and like put a little bit more force behind it? The biggest streaks are gone, but there are still some left. All right, I have removed the second cleaner. Maybe we should take pictures a little bit later. Before and after. Take some more pictures there, and you should start heading towards MRM. All right. Pictures of the window. Copy. All right, guys, we are done with pictures. Head out back to MRM and the handrails. Also, Glisser, leave it on for a little bit more time so that we capture the batteries of solar arrays. Leave it going. Okay.
As we approach the 5-hour mark in the spacewalk, Dmitry Petelin has wrapped up the cleaning of the external surface of one of the windows on the Zvezda service module. The two cosmonauts continuing to make good time along all of their tasks. On the timeline for today's activities, the removal of a seismic detection experiment, the removal of several stanchions on the exterior of the service module that held other transmission hardware. They did install a high data rate transmission radio hardware package and removed experiment trays from a micrometeoroid impact hit experiment and a material science samples experiment. The two cosmonauts also took extensive photographic documentation of the aft end of the Zvezda service module, including thruster plume deflectors and the antenna boom on which the Lyra high data rate antenna is mounted. And now, having completed the cleaning of one of the windows on the service module, they're going to head back toward the Poisk airlock, where they will remove a biological sample experiment package before presumably completing their spacewalk for today.
There is a soft handrail, long one, orange. Okay. And I'm moving all right here. I am passing by you. You got it? Got it. All right. Use the soft handrail. Okay. PET is 5 hours exactly. Copy. Grab the crew lock bag and UKP with all the tools and everything. The container, the protective covers, secure to the circular handrails, and start your suit inspection. Sounds good. What do you want? The crew lock bag and UKP? Well, you can turn the crew lock bag. All right, let me grab it. Well, I'm thinking that both kits can be secured with hooks to you guys. Okay. Standing by. And the second one. Sergey, don't go to plane 2 yet. We just want to be able to jettison the towel. So position yourself across each other and check out your suits, gloves, and the impact. Copy. Well, we didn't do anything crazy. Well, my gloves are looking good. Something greenish is on the boots, but it was there before we went on our. We went there. Well, guys, inspect it a little bit more attentively, please. Maybe OTAs, maybe some cloth elements. Just maybe a little bit more than we had. Maybe it's a little bit dirtier than before, but nothing crazy. The backs are probably clean, but elbows. Let me check. The boots are, the legs are clean. The backpack, I think it's greenish. Not too bad. All good. All right. Well, let us wipe down the gloves and use the towels. We'll use the towels in the handrail of the impact needs to be also wiped down. So use the gloves, use the towels, correction.
As the International Space Station approaches the west coast of the United States, Dmitry Petelin and Sergei Prokopiev are conducting what for U.S. spacewalks is called the buddy system, inspecting each other's suits, wiping down the suits to ensure that they're not going to bring any contamination back inside the space station at the completion of today's spacewalk, which is now 5 hours, 6 minutes in duration.
Прям так таких, прям совсем сажевых, живых.
Well,
Образование такое.
they're
Что удивительно, просто поручни там
the handrails
выглядели немножко страшно.
are look like they have smoke residue on them. Looks like a frying pan with the smoke residue.
Они маслянистые.
They also look oily,
Она краска тут отклеилась, да.
but I don't think it's actually oily.
Есть одно полотенце снял.
I removed one towel.
Я, наверное, туда первый протираюсь.
So should I be going there first? Okay. Oh, should I be wiping? Should I be wiping down? Yes, go ahead.
Держи. Так, это и поручень, или потом давай поручень сначала.
Okay, the handrail. Yes, go ahead on the handrail.
Ну, вроде как все, что мог.
Oh, I think I've done as much as I could.
Закончил.
I'm done.
Принято.
I'm done. I completed the handrail cleaning. Copy.
And a good view of the Expedition 69 commander, Sergei Prokopiev, in the home stretch of the 7th spacewalk of his career.
Yes. It's on my gloves.
Дима, давай свежим полотенцем вытришь руки.
Свежим.
Could you use a fresh towel, please, and clean number 3? Yes, would be great if you use a fresh towel. Okay, copy.
А это полотенце можно оттолкнуть тогда сразу.
And this one you can, and this towel you can jettison right away. You can give it to me. So you need to grab with the other hand.
Только при отталкивании просьба снять проволочные фиксаторы и без них отталкивать.
When you jettison it, please remove the wire ties and jettison the towel without wire ties. Okay, copy. Well, there are some hooks still remaining on the towel. Copy. So I wiped it down.
Ребят, и просьба, если получится у вас скомкать
So if you're able to bunch up those two towels into one bundle with one bundle without the wire, so you can probably wrap it on top. I finished tying.
Ну, одно полотенце поверх другого.
You can wrap one towel on top of the other. It's just so that they're going to separate from the station as one single object.
5 hours, 15 minutes into the spacewalk, instructions being given to the cosmonauts to bundle these two towels that they wiped their gloves and their suits down with into one package, basically, that they will wire tie together so that when it is jettisoned, it will consist of only a single object to be tracked. The jettison, like the other items jettisoned earlier in today's spacewalk, will be done so retrograde to the station to avoid any potential for recontact with the International Space Station.
Difficult to achieve without a wire tie, particularly since we're wearing gloves.
Ну, вы сильно не забивайте руки, как получилось, так и не нужно, чтобы этот объект
don't overtire your arms. It doesn't have to be.
Сжали, как снежочек.
Well, if you can compress it together like a snowball, then you can push it off. I don't know. I don't even know what to do. Well, let's try it this way. We need to remove it from the wire tie. Well, if it doesn't work, pushing it off without a wire tie, then use one wire tie. Don't overburden your hands. Don't overtire your hands trying to compress those two towels.
Я просто хотел проволочный фиксатор сэкономить, но...
I just wanted to save a wire tie, but if it's not going to work, then so be it. So yeah, if it's a matter of a wire tie.
Конечно, всегда дело в проволоке.
Of course, it's always about the wire. Oh, this is better. Copy. You can push it off. So you're going to push it towards me?
Также по горизонту Земли, в сторону от станции.
So in the direction of the station along the Earth horizon. Okay. Okay. So it's not towards me, it's in direction away from me. Okay, I'm jettisoning it. Alright, went well. Copy. The towel is gone.
And the bundle of 2 towels has been jettisoned. The 4th item to be jettisoned during today's spacewalk, a seismic detection experiment, 2 stanchions, and now this bundle of towels. This will wrap up all of the jettison activity for the spacewalk, which is approaching the 5-hour, 20-minute mark.
Plane 4, it shouldn't be difficult to translate in that direction. Okay, copy.
With the work on the Zvezda service module having been completed, the two cosmonauts are now making their way back to the Poisk airlock. One more task at hand, the retrieval of a biological samples experiment package, the experiment called BioRisk, that is mounted near the airlock hatch at Poisk.
Гей, а планшет импакт?
Sergey, and you have the impact tray. Yes, I do.
И крылок бэк.
And the crew look back as well?
А, не гермконтейнер?
No. Okay. Okay, I got it.
Принято. Тогда, когда
Copy also, when you get to the EV hatch,
убирай планшет импакт в мягкий контейнер.
so place the impact experiment tray into the soft container. Okay, will do.
По возможности, когда
And if
вытянешь
possible,
проволочные
when
фиксаторы
you
на горловине, надо будет
remove the wear ties along the internal circumference, you will need to wrap it as much as possible.
Это будет сделать.
You might need to do it together. Okay, we'll wait and see.
А ты тоже перешел с кольцевых поручней на...
So I see your vehicle has also translated from the circular handrail. Yes,
Снимаем запрет двигателя ориентации.
then we're going to enable attitude thrusters at this time. Okay, copy.
The cosmonauts now back at the Poisk module. They will be removing the BioRisk sample tray, this biological samples experiment tray. That will be the final task of today's spacewalk, presumably. And we'll stand by for further word from the Russian flight control team outside of Korolyov, which has supervised today's excursion by Prokopiev and Petelin.
I am placing the tray into the soft container. Copy.
Дима, ты уже сейчас практически ушел с СМ, я наблюдаю.
And Dmitry, you are where? So yes, I'm following Sergey. Okay, we're going to start rotating the solar rays in auto track mode. So we're not going to we're not going back to MRM at all. Okay, copy all, thank you.
The two cosmonauts are stowing the experiment trays that were removed from the Zvezda service module into protective airtight containers before they are brought back inside the Poisk airlock.
I have the container. Okay, I am going to go to the kit.
And the two spacewalkers are removing one of the containers from the biorisk experiment. These are biological samples exposed to the environment of space.
Принято.
So I secured the small red.
Принято.
Copy. Maybe right now what we can do.
Дим, давай ты поможешь Сергею сейчас.
Dmitry, you're going to help Sergey.
Через контейнер.
You're going to hold the container. There is the tray there, and then in the meantime, Sergey is going to dispose of the wire ties so they don't get in the way. Okay, sounds good. just hold it. Yes, hold it.
А ты red снял?
Now, did you remove red and the adjustable?
Конечно.
Yes. Both red and adjustable. Okay, and we don't have anything else there. So we're going to do that as much as possible.
Экипаж МКС по Москве в канале СГ-2 для Андрея.
ISS MCC Moscow on space round 2 for Andre about the PHO activity.
Да, отвечаю, СГ-2.
Go ahead and space round 2.
Андрей, выйди, пожалуйста.
Andre, could you call me on space round 1?
Хорошо.
Okay, copy. I will. Stand by 1.
Потом внутри руками подтянем.
We'll pull it just by hand
Когда
inside.
будет сублиматор у нас, тогда можно дотянуть. Но
Yeah, you can do that when you start
была обеспечена на горловине.
the sublimators. Okay? Well, we probably shouldn't do that.
Sergei Prokopiev and Dmitry Petelin are in the process of bagging the experiment packages that they retrieved from the Zvezda service module during today's spacewalk, which has reached the 5-hour 37-minute mark. This view from one of the cosmonauts' helmet cameras showing the inside of the Poisk airlock that leads to the rest of the Russian segment of the International Space Station.
Hold it. Got it. Well, I think it's definitely not leaking. We copy, and you can start bringing the equipment. Crew lock bag.
Я не отследил, что тень наступила.
All right, and we are in orbital night. Yep, the night has come.
После заведения укладок
After you bring in all the kits,
и как в итоге пойдем к нему? По большой дороге или по короткой?
which route would you like to choose? Do you take the longer route or the shorter route? Maybe
Нет,
move along the Strela.
у нас через
Or I would take it along
большой
a circular
связи.
handrail, and we are looking into
Пойдет на работу с
a
берегом.
very long LOS.
Соответственно, вам надо будет
So, guys, you will have to translate,
снять первый контейнер.
remove container 1.
Именно первый контейнер требуется.
It needs to be container number 1.
Надо будет застраховать его
You will need to secure it
двумя точками. Это adjustable и red.
with two, using adjustable and red,
Монтируете. Надо будет
and
облитер, платформу
you will take the glisser platform
и назад к нему второму.
and move back to MRM 1. Oh, MRM 2, correction. Copy. All right, take the UKP.
Good view inside the Poisk airlock as the two cosmonauts stow equipment and the experiment packages to be brought back inside the International Space Station.
All right, the Strela is here. And I'm on the anchor. Did you enter the anchor already? Yes.
Принято, укладки у нас
Copy.
контейнер, УКП,
The container, UKP, the crew lock bag.
контейнер. Да, на месте.
Okay, they are in place.
Принято.
Copy. And I have secured it. Okay. Copy, thank you.
Да.
Unintelligible.
У нас вот буквально через минутку, наверное, пропадет видеосвязь.
All right, we're going to lose video in about a minute.
Будет дольше, чем я говорил.
Audio is going to be for a little bit longer.
Ожидается через 10 с небольшим минут.
But the LOS is about 10 minutes and some change.
This is Mission Control Houston, 5 hours, 49 minutes into today's spacewalk. The two cosmonauts who have been working outside all day, Sergei Prokopyev and Dmitry Petelin, are in the home stretch. They're collecting one more experiment package from the outside of the Poisk module near the airlock hatch itself. That a tray of biological experiment samples. After they complete that, they will make their way back inside Poisk and close the hatch to mark the official end of today's spacewalk.
So we are at number 1. Copy, number 1.
The two cosmonauts removed and jettisoned a 10-year-old seismic detection experiment from the outside of the Zvezda service module. They retrieved and jettisoned 2 stanchions as well, installed high data rate transmission radio hardware, removed a tray of experiments from a micrometeoroid impact hit experiment, removed a material science sample experiment tray. They took detailed engineering photos of service module thruster plume deflectors on the aft end of the Zvezda service module, which have been in service now for some 23 years, providing propulsive capability for the International Space Station. They also captured a number of photos of the aft end of the service module, as well as the antenna boom interface, basically the boom stanchion, upon which the Lyra high gain and high data rate antenna is located at the very end of the service module itself. With all of their work almost complete now, with the exception of the removal of this biological sample tray, which they're in the process of getting away from a handrail along the Poisk module near the hatch area. They will then make their way back inside, remove a protective ring surrounding the circumference of the hatch that has protected it from any debris hits during the course of today's spacewalk, and close the hatch. That will mark the official end of today's spacewalk, the 266th spacewalk in support of space station assembly maintenance and upgrades, the 9th out of the International Space Station this year, the 7th for Expedition 69 crew members, and additionally the 3rd spacewalk in just 17 days. This was the 7th spacewalk for Sergei Prokopyev and the 5th for Dmitry Petelin.
All right.
А можешь еще, пожалуйста, снять тогда такелажный узел стрелы?
All right. Could you also please take images of the Strela as well? I'll try, but it is dark. I'm not sure that you are going to get much out of those pictures.
После того, как вы якорь сняли.
Still, could you try and take pictures of the grapple fixture for the Strela? Will do.
We're about to move out of range of our tracking and data relay satellite system for about 11 minutes or so. We'll be regaining communications with the International Space Station thereafter, as Prokopyev and Petelin begin to wrap up work outside of the hatchway to the POISC module.
Moving towards unintelligible. Do you read us on SHSS? Yes. We have SHSS. But we're going to have you for about 4 minutes, and then we're going to have about a 7-minute LOS. Copy. I did see that. I suggest to do so you're not at the EV hatch. So since we have less than about 3.5 minutes left, we can do this. Sergey, verify that. Sergey, let's start with you. Tool caddy, swing arm, and the ratchet wrench. You have them all, right?
And with a moment or two of voice communication still available before we lose signal with the station for several minutes, the 2 spacewalkers approaching the 6-hour mark in today's spacewalk. They're in the home stretch, of course, as they wrap up work and are taking an inventory of their tools as they prepare to re-enter the POISC airlock and close the hatch.
They're all in place. Copy. Glister and the ratchet wrench accounted for. Copy. And 3 reds, small, small, large, small, and 1 adjustable. One, 2, 3 small, 1 large, small, and 1 adjustable. Yes, I got them. All right, and for the MRM2, you have KPU and accounted for, and you brought in the crew lock bag, the bag and the pliers. Got them. And you also have the crowbar and UKP, all that. Yes, UKP is there. Impact is stowed in the soft container, and you tied the and it is secured, right? Then I would like to suggest to go to your EV hatch, perform one more inspection of the suits, if necessary, wipe everything down, but if you don't need it, then Sergey, you will be first, Dmitry will be second, and then you are standing by for us to call you. Okay? Leave the protective ring for now. Copy. Copy. We'll perform the inspection. Are you in the area of the Strela boom?